Referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Vincent Dudley.
Vincent Dudley staying busy early.
John, I do want to clarify, if you are fighting in the UFC level and you are in a weight class in the UFC and you have access to the UFC's resources in terms of the PI and their nutritionists and their dietitians, there's no excuse for not making weight.
You're out of excuses at that point.
You're out of it. You
like
get
they will
no
draw
room
the
for
diet plan up, they will make the food for you.
Yeah, that's different than a young lady who's making her pro day or their second pro fight.
Right.
Who missed weight at her first attempt at atomweight.
Indeed.
Very different.
She'll be looking to dial it in moving forward for sure. She seems to have recovered well. And Triple H, I'm not sure if Dr. Day was allowed to say that. I believe there might be some copyright enforcement on that. But we're all TKO, right? It's all good.
Yeah. At some level, right?
That's it.
Samarco doing a good job of trying to counter that kick with the right hand, which is exactly what she should be doing. They must have did the scouting report on this. I've actually seen her holding pads for Pat Sabatini.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does indeed. She's an integral part of that team. You see Pat Sabatini claim that inaugural welterweight belt last night at Pre-Professional Grappling. He's here to corner his teammate. That's the kind of love that they all have for each other over at that squad. And you're right, I've seen her hold pads on many occasions. Pat Sabatini. Kid was always a little bit undersized at 115. Did a couple 110 catch weights early in the career. Finally, I think has made the decision atomweight might be where I can compete. Continue to dial that in moving forward, but right now showing some nice hands. Landed a couple quick shots there in exchange.
And she's just punching from a little far out. She's got to try, Samarco's got to try to corner her a little bit and step to the outside of the lead foot of Holmes before she throws that right hand.
Meanwhile, Holmes chops the leg. Switching stances on the outside. Giving Samarco a couple different looks.
You see how, because Samarco, well, Holmes is throwing that outside kick when she's at a southpaw. Samarco's trying to counter, but she's still on the inside. It's making it very difficult for her to reach her.
The minor adjustments, the little battles inside of the battle that have to be addressed.
Yeah, these are footwork battles. If your feet aren't in place, your hands won't be in place.
Right now, Samarco trying to figure out the rhythm, find the distance. Moves inside there, grab the leg on that kick. She's going to create a scramble. Look at this. Controls the neck. Holmes moves quickly back to her feet. Samarco not wanting to let go of that head control for the time being, but Holmes pops it out. It's a right hand there for Samarco and tight as they battle in the clutch, and Holmes eventually back to the center. Good exchanges here early in the opening round. Samarco continuing to walk forward, but as you said, a little bit far out at times.
Yeah, so as Holmes hits her with that outside kick at the southpaw, that gives her the lane to circle off to her right. And it's making it very difficult for Samarco to throw the right hand because of that. It's just taking her too far out of it.
Samarco short on the left hand there once again. Continue to work with the center. High kick up top for Holmes. She continues to switch stances. Now Samarco is closing the distance a little bit. And when she's in tight, she has some success.
But I tell you, up to this point, Holmes is doing a really good job of just, I think she's landing a little bit more effectively.
Doubles up on the kick there. That was nice. Low then high. And I agree with your assessment. Moving and countering well.
Yeah.
Working from the outside, but the counters are nice.
Samarco's trying to walk her down, but Holmes is just touching and moving, doing a good job of just touching. And every so often she gets a really clean one in there.
Yes, sir. Watch that fade hook. Read it.
Holmes doing a nice job of staying just outside of the range of Samarco, though she does take a left hand there.
Yeah, if I'm Samarco's corner, when I go back to the corner, or in the corner, when she comes back to the corner, you got to tell her, when Holmes is southpaw, you got to march her the other direction.
Misses with the high kick there, tries to return with the side kick. Holmes continuing to switch stances, and as you said, especially when she's in that southpaw, chopping the outside leg. Oh, high kick up top. Samarco with a rush there in the final seconds. They will end in the clinch of an entertaining opening round.
Yes, sir. Samarco has to walk her the other direction. She's not going to be able to keep up with her if she allows Holmes to circle out to her right.
Eddie Torres there. I imagine offering that exact advice in the corner. Student of the game for sure, very knowledgeable, talented fighter in his own right, but is really taking on a coaching role with those around him.
Here we got some of the action here. She catches the front kick. Holmes does a good job of getting back to her feet after being taken down off her kick attempt. Then the guillotine, almost not too close on that guillotine attempt, but nonetheless still a good effort from Samarco's part.
While we talk about how busy Hope Holmes has been in her career, she's comfortable in here, I imagine. Getting some last-second adjustments as well. We'll check the pace again. Taylor Samarco. Don't want to harp on the fact that she missed weight, but you always wonder, was there something going on that she wasn't able to? Again, it's a new weight class, but you can see how the gas tank holds up.
At this point, it's not our job to care about that.
Right.
You know, I don't care what the issue was. She's here fighting. And
that's it.
And I want to see your best.
Looks like she's trying to turn up the aggression a little bit maybe here early in round 2. Press forward a little quicker, not stay on the outside.
But you see, Samarco has to move to her left. Right there. She's got to move to her left. Right there. That's what she has to do. Step to the outside foot of the southpaw, moving to your left. And up until now, that whole first round, she's circled to her right. And she's not going to find a lot of success going that way.
The moment she made the move in that direction, she had success with her combinations. You said, the feet in the right place, the hands will be in the right place.
I just don't know if she knew that that's what attributed to her making that connection with the hands, is that she stepped in the right place.
Lands with the jab there, but did kind of step to the inside on that. It's a subtle little footwork.
But the jab is a little different. Like, she can still, even if Holmes lands that outside kick, it's easier to hit for Samarco to land the jab than the right hand. It's just closer.
High kick there, pushed away. Holmes. Oh! Kick caught there from Samarco. Immediately drops Holmes, and now Samarco gets a chance to set up on top. Right in the center of the cage as well, so Holmes not going to be able to use a wall or anything like that. She's just stuck right in the middle. She's got to find a way to get up.
Well, she's not going to get up with a closed guard.
This is true. Closed guard right now. She's hanging on, and you're right. It's always a little bit frustrating. I mean, if you need to close it for a second to recover, do. But when you're here, it's a basic. You can't get out of that position.
Yeah, so I always tell people, like, why are you, like, the closed guard is to keep them on top of you, like, if they're trying to get away from you. Like, I don't think Holmes is, I don't think Samarco's trying to get away. There's no need to close it.
I completely agree with you. Right now, she is controlling the wrists underneath, but even then, you'd have to, now she breaks open a little bit. Now maybe she's going to try to turn these hips, looking for an arm bar. Helps the triangle. You see some blood streaming out of the nose of Taylor Samarco. Some of those hammer fists underneath look like they did some damage. Past the halfway mark of round number 2. Holmes continues to control the wrist, just kind of pressing down with the forearm.
Well, that's, you know, pretty crafty from Holmes to just throw them little hammer fists to the nose of Samarco just to keep that blood going. Because even at the end of the day, this still is a game of damage, even though she's on her back. If she does more damage off of her back than Samarco does on top, that's just what it is.
Indeed it is, and the blood is obviously easy visual evidence for the judges to look at. Samarco, though, walks the action over to the cage. She stands up, she's got to watch the up kicks. Drives back down past the legs. Trying to set up on top.
She can kick her in the face here, yeah. And she can technically until that knee hits the
That's
floor.
right, yeah.
It looks like it's on the floor now, but it's close.
Yeah, it's interesting because she was just a little bit postured, right? That knee was just a little off the ground, so you have to be careful in that situation. She had a brief little wardrobe issue there. The foot was stuck in the rash guard. That's been cleared. Samarco just driving that forearm right now, but
yeah, Samarco completely took advantage of this position on top here, and especially using the fence to her advantage.
Hey, ref, she's putting her foot in the cage.
I'm trying to kick out.
Posture up and elbow her.
I got
the
you.
corner there.
We got 45 seconds.
Warning the referee to keep an eye. The feet were in the cage there briefly. Not an issue at this moment. Holmes now once again in that closed guard with her head stuck up against the fence.
It's kind of hard not to put your foot in the fence. I mean, it's a fence.
Yeah.
Deep squat and make her pay.
It's just natural. But there's those hammer fists again.
There you go again.
You hear Eddie Torres just yelling, make her pay, get the damage done, because you're right, she's enjoying a lot of top position, but some of the more damaging blows are coming from up underneath.
Yeah.
There you go. Hello, step up elbow. There you go. Elbow, Taylor. Beautiful. That's it.
Samarco should really take advantage of this position. She was a few seconds ago, but she kind of stopped. She needs to really take advantage of this.
Final seconds ticking off the clock here. A little bit of shots damage late there. Interesting one for the judges to look at, because as you see there, I mean, the blood is streaming out of Taylor Samarco's face. She was the one enjoying the dominant position, but, you know, again, I know that those shots from underneath don't do a lot of damage, but there was a lot of them, and you could see the blood.
But it was more than what Samarco was doing. She needed to really establish that position and establish her dominance more than anything else. Let's take a look at some of this action. And there goes that kick that she just slips on. Hope slips on that kick. Hope Holmes slips on that kick. Samarco gets on top. And here's a nice little up kick. Boom, right there. Those things can be devastating. And then now we see a little ground and pound. Actually from the bottom.
Pounding from the ground. It's a little different.
But that's the game. That's part of the game. I've actually created a gang of positions from the bottom to do a lot of damage.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have.
Let's do it. It's interesting, right? Because, I mean, listen, that is one thing you want to talk about is, look, if you're punching from your back, if you're punching up, it doesn't have the same type of power from underneath. But it was just short little rapid-fire hammer fist. She did some damage there.
Well, the way I do it is a little different. So, but no one knows
keeping that under wraps right now?
I can't explain it on TV. You want me to explain it on TV? I can't explain it on TV.
Exactly, man. You gotta come take the private lesson.
Come to my class. You come to my class.
Giving this stuff away.
Yeah, I charge $400 an hour.
All right, round 3 underway. Listen, round 2 might have been a tough one for the judges to look at.
It was, for me, it was a tough one to look at because it was really back and forth, and if you base it on the judging criteria of damage, it wasn't a lot of damage. If there was any damage, it was done by Holmes or Samarco, but then domination was Samarco over Holmes, so it's a really tough round to score.
I agree. So I would think that neither corner can feel entirely comfortable. They know what the score is. You got to come out there and you got to get aggressive. I think that was the biggest thing that Eddie Torres and team were yelling at Samarco when she was on top. Is like, hey, you got to get aggressive in this spot. I mean, you're where you want to be. You got to make her pay for it.
Yeah, but sometimes just psychologically, when you're on top, you just feel like you're winning. Especially under these circumstances, you're on top, they're on their back, you feel like you're winning, and you just think you're doing enough. And we always have that biased approach to ourselves.
Samarco caught the kick there again briefly. This time Holmes was able to pull away and stay upright and find herself on her back. She continues to just switch stances, move on the outside, stay just out of the range of Taylor Samarco.
Well, I'll tell you this, neither of them at this point need to chill. They both should be looking to execute and finish with style points.
I agree, because you've had some competitive kind of back and forth rounds, and I don't think if you cruise and find out, oh my gosh, you mean I wasn't up 2-0 at that point? That's a hard price to pay. Keep pushing, keep looking to score points, keep looking to do damage.
Believe me, I've been through all of it, where you think you're winning and you're not, you lose the decision and you're like, well, I thought I was winning. I wish I, open scoring, and trust me, I speak for open scoring, but at the end of the day, you gotta finish.
That's it.
You gotta finish. You gotta, and you always have to try to finish, regardless.
Halfway through round number 3.
Her distancing's way off. Let's go. There we go. Let's go.
Samarco in the center. Relying on a punch-heavy attack for the most part. Had some success in round 2 when she caught the kick, but boy, Holmes has been really peppering those legs throughout the entirety of this contest. Shifting stances, walking forward, snapping and moving. Another nice counter there. Samarco landing in the flurry as well.
Yeah, I think Holmes also needs to get busy, because if she thinks she's up, she might be mistaken. She can't sit back and just try to pot shot her way here to victory with leg kicks.
Completely agree with that. I don't think either athlete can feel exactly comfortable if they know what the score is. And even here, I mean, it's back and forth. You're seeing these exchanges, and they're kind of both having their moments.
Yeah, it's a seesaw battle. When you have a seesaw battle like this, somebody's going to be very disappointed at the decision, and you can't be, because you have the opportunity right now to do something about it.
There we go. You know what's happening when you give it that thing. There we go.
Nice kick to the
That's a
body.
good kick to the body. I think Samarco felt that.
I agree. That was a big shot. Now Holmes trying to rush forward with punches. Samarco dealt with it well. Took a little bit of damage, just didn't allow herself to get stuck up against the fence. Moves back to the center.
And Samarco's still feeling it, which is why she's shaking it out on the outside. Holmes doesn't realize this.
Under a minute to go.
And she let her back into the fight.
Yeah.
Samarco let
This could be
Holmes let
key.
Samarco back into the fight.
A little surprised by that. Samarco didn't want to get on top again. Didn't even try. She actually backed away once she had Holmes off balance and on her back. We'll see if that ends up being a wise decision or not. Holmes rushes forward with a flurry. Under 30 seconds to go. It has been back and forth. Not a lot of difference between these two.
It'll be interesting to see how the judges score this.
Heard the clapper there for the final 10 seconds. I agree. They're trying to come together late. Holmes rallying off kicks. Look at that high kicks. Oh, she's letting it go in the end.
Holmes has a really good high kick. I wish she had used that a little bit more in
I
this
was just
fight.
thinking the same thing, and chop the legs a lot. If you were setting up that high kick at the end, I wish you would have seen a little bit more, but this is going to be an interesting one for the judges. Holmes with her hands in the air. Samarco scaled the cage as well. She knows she's got a lot of fans in the building here. She is much beloved around these parts for her grittiness.
A lot of interesting action here. We see Samarco counter that right kick from Holmes. Some good boxing on the inside from both of these women here. Holmes had a really good left kick like we see there. And then here she goes with the flurry at the end, leading with that left kick. A nice flurry from Holmes. Kind of gets Samarco's attention.
Again, just a back and forth affair where both of them had moments. They both landed in spots. Be interesting to see which way the judges lean. Respect between these two, of course. Again,
I'm really good about judging what the judges are going to call.
right?
I don't always get the fight right, but I'm really good about what the judges say.
You got a feeling on this
I
one?
have a feeling on this one. I think that the judges are going to see it towards Holmes.
I kind of lean that way as well. And it's, I'm always going to be a Taylor Samarco homer. She's a great human being. And we see her around a lot when she's not competing. And you see, I mean, look, sitting having a great conversation in there. You know, I mean, she's just a great human being. And so I'm always going to cheer for her. But I feel like maybe Holmes.
I feel like the judges will lean it towards her.
Well, I can tell you this. It's taken a while to get the scores together.
So now you know that it's
I mean,
it's now you know it's up in the air.
You
It
feel
is
like they're
absolutely
double
whatever.
checking some things.
Now you know it's absolutely whatever. Who knows?
All right. Dr. David Sarnoff finally does have the scores in his hand. Let's find out who's going home a winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Krawick has the fight, 29-28 for Holmes. Judge Billick has the fight, 29-28 for Samarco. Judge Chiarelli has the fight, 29-28 for your winner by split decision. Out of the red corner, Taylor, the Warrior of God!
The split decision goes to Taylor Samarco. We said it was close, said it was back and forth, said I don't know that either athlete can feel comfortable. I thought maybe I was homering a little bit for Taylor Samarco because I am such a fan of her, but judges believe that she got the job done as well.